Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to another computer science lecture for 9618 AS level. Today we are going to start section number 11, that is programming, and we would be starting our discussion on 11.1, that is programming basics. The first thing we have in our syllabus is the declaration and initialization of constants. Constants, if you remember, are those memory spaces that have a value which is fixed, which do not change during the run of the program. Constants are declared by stating the identifier and the literal value in the following format. First of all, we write the keyword constant, then we write their identifier or the name, then we write equals to sign and the value we want to assign. For example, constant hourly rate equals to 6.5 or constant default text equals to NA. A variable, another constant, or an expression must never be used as the value for a constant. It must have a definite value. Then we have the declaration and initialization of variables. Variables are created as follows: declare, then write the identifier name, put colon and write the data type for the variable. Always remember you must have to use the declare keyword. For example, declare counter as integer, declare total as real, declare game over as boolean. Moving on, then we have assignment of values to a variable. In pseudocode, now the question says the chapter says programming basics, but as you know very well, for paper number 2 you are not supposed to write any programming codes, you are supposed to write pseudocodes. So in section number 11 we would strictly be talking about just pseudocodes according to the boundaries of the syllabus. So here we have the assignment of values to variables, and assignment should be made in the following format: the identifier name for the variable, then the assignment operator, and then the value. Always remember, before you can use the assignment operator you must have declared the variable somewhere above. Values can be definite values or an expression. However, expression should evaluate to a value of same data type as the variable. For example, if you have declared name as string, then you cannot write something like name equals to marks multiplied by 50 or marks divided by 50 into 100, because the answer of this expression would be either integer or it would either be real, which cannot be stored in the string data type. These operators are used to perform mathematical operations. They are the same as what you have already studied: the plus, the minus, multiply, divide, raise to the power of. For grouping, if you want to put something inside a bracket so it may be solved before the other parts of the expression. The percentage sign stands for mod, which basically divides two numbers together and tell you the remainder, if any. The integer division operators mod and div can also be used. You can write, instead of using this symbol, you can use the div function as well. For that you simply write div bracket open first value comma second value, and div function would return the quotient of identifier 1 divided by identifier 2, and any fractional part will be discarded. Whereas if you use the division operator, then you will get the full answer with all the decimal points intact. Then we have the mod function. If you don't want to use this percentage sign, you can also use mod function. Again, what the two variables or the two numbers that you put inside as the arguments or parameters for the mod function, the mod function will divide them and tell you the remainder. The identifier are always of data type integer. Example of mod and div: 10 3 would return 3, whereas 10 divided by 3 would return 3.333333, and so on. whereas mod 10 comma 3 would return 1 because that is what it would be left as remainder. Make the order of operations in complex expression explicit by using parentheses or the round brackets. If you are using long formulas then or long expression, then you must decide their order by using different sort of brackets like round bracket, square bracket, curly bracket, etc. Then we have the comparison or the relational operators. These operators are used to compare two or more values or statements together, and they are usually used within conditional statements. Result is always of Boolean data type, like either it is true, either it is false. This is greater than, less than, equals to, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and this symbol means not equal to. Then we have the logical operator and or not. They are again used as a part of conditional statements where we need to write more than one conditions in a single if statement. If AND operator is used, it means both the condition must be applied. If OR operator is used, that means any one of the conditions can be met and the overall expression would be true, whereas not means to not include whatever is written next. For example, if color or rather let's go with age. If age is greater than 10 and something like not 15, that would mean that any value of age greater than 10 is acceptable except the age of 15. Using built-in functions and library routines. So basically in paper 2 you would be given an insert of 4 to 6 pages which is going to contain a lot of different functions so that you don't have to remember them. All of them would be from the library routines or the built-in functions. They would include numeric functions, they would include logical operators, they would include comparison operators, they would include string functions and some other type of functions as well. So technically we have numeric functions. In numeric functions we have mod, we have div, we have round. Round basically is a function which rounds the given number to a specific number of decimal places. For example, round 3.14285, 2 would round it off to just 3.14. It would round it off to 2 decimal place. In that insert, along with the paper 2, you would be given a list of all the possible functions that you would need for solving your paper 2, as well as their description and a solved example as well, just like this. First of all, the name would be written, then the description would be written, and finally an example would be written. Then we have the random function. Now, a random function originally was supposed to be a function in Cambridge that would generate a random value between 1 and 0 inclusive. However, in the recent inserts, the Cambridge has changed it to this thing, a rand function, where you can supply a parameter by the name of x or any integer number, and it would return a real value. What is this function? It would return a random real number in the range from 0 to x. X means whatever number you write in the parenthesis as the argument, but not including the whatever value you have written over here. For example, rand 87 would generate a random number between 0 to 86.9999, but it would never return you 87. It can return anything between 0 and 87, something like 35.43 and so on. Then we have the int function that basically discards the fractional part and simply returns the integer value. For example, if you write int 27.5415, it would simply return 27. It would not round off the number, it would simply discard the fractional part and return you just the whole number part. Then we have string functions, the length function which finds the number of character in a string. For example, the length of the string I live in Karachi is 18 characters, as spaces are counted as a character as well. We write it like this: length string written with quotation marks or length and then the name of the variable that contains the string. For example, length Pakistan or length country name would return 8. Then we have substring, which surprisingly the A-level examiner does not rely much on. Rather, the A-level examiner has switched it to mid function. It is used to extract part of a string. For example, the substring Karachi could be extracted from I live in Karachi. Syntax, you simply write the keyword mid, then you write the string content or the name of string variable, then you write the start position and the length of the subset. For example, mid. Now this function is exactly same as the substring function from O levels, just the name is the difference or the keyword is the difference. The working is absolutely same. I live in Karachi 11.7 would return Karachi. Why? Because it is going to count till the 11th character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now from the 11th character it is going to extract 7 characters and then display it on screen. So these makes 7 characters. Pseudocode strings start at position 1, whereas most programming languages start at position 0. Then we have the upper function, which converts all the letters in a string to uppercase. Now for that we have the U case as well as L case that you learn in your O levels as well. U case and L case convert whatever string you provide in quotation marks or whatever variable name you provide inside the parenthesis, and it converts all the characters in that string to uppercase or lowercase. However, in A levels, the examiners sometimes instead of U case and L case use these functions instead, and so basically what it means, read the insert very carefully, as you are technically, this is kind of a unwritten rule, you have to follow whatever string functions or numeric functions are given in the insert. Technically, logically, if you write L case instead of 2 lower, that would work the same, but that would mean that you did not bother to read the insert with open eyes. So be on the safe side, simply use the functions which are given in the insert. There would be same functions, just the name can be changed slightly. Then we have the write function. What the write function does, whatever identifier you provide to it inside the parenthesis, it would extract some numbers, not numbers rather, from that string. It basically returns rightmost x characters from the given string. This should not be a comma, this okay. So basically you provide a string and then comma, you provide an integer value, so that from the right hand side, for example, write computer science 3 would return 3 characters from the right hand side. These 3 would be returned. Similarly, we have a string function by the name of left. Again, we provide it, and first of all 2 parameters. The first one is a string, the second one is an integer, and it always returns a string. It returns the leftmost x characters from the given string. For example, left computer science 4 would return the first 4 characters from the string, like this. So if you need to extract characters from the left or the right hand side, you can use these two. If you need to extract characters from the middle of a string, then you can use the mid function. Okay, basically we have just went through the mid function as well. Technically it is absolutely same as your substring function. There is no option. This is just another example. As you can see, mid ABCD EFG 2 3 would return BCD, and This is the concatenation operator. And symbol can be used to join or concatenate two strings together. For example, computer and science will result in computer science. Usually we use concatenation to join the two strings together and then store them in a third variable. A string manipulation function and most of other functions will always be given in this insert, or it would be explained in the description of the question inside your question paper. Okay, and about the one last thing about the concatenation function, it can work something like this. And if you write the full name would now contain Ali Khan with a space in between that I put over here. If I would have just written it like this with a single concatenation, then this value would have been stored in full name. Okay, so that's everything you need to know for section 11.1. I hope you have understood everything. If you have any problems, feel free to contact me and leave comments. I'll definitely get back to you. If you want a hard copy of these notes, so you can order the study pack for AS level, or if you or anyone you know needs a study pack for computer science, IGCSE or O levels, or if you need good notes, study notes for physics, O levels or IGCSE, then you can use the form link given in the description below to place your order. Lastly, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and share it with your friends as well. I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay tuned, take care, Allah Hafiz.